say look here, they were saying who's look. They want to know who's look.
So I'm finally going to get on camera with you.
That's right. You change your outfit, bro.
Huh?
Change
the old big and thing.
Yeah.
I'm playing at the front row now.
Wow. Yeah. It's your body now.
It's my body, it's my body.
It's your choice.
Yeah. What's your shot for? That's why I'm good for it.
Which part you doing it? Come here now.
Yeah, come on the big.
Where's the left you? Where's the left you? Yeah, as is. Let's stay here now. Let them.
Come back a bit, man. That's it right there.
What's that? Come back more?
Look all of them in the back there, see? Look all of them in the back there. One, leaving up room to all of them to fit in. Right. So all of them fit in. Yeah, you all have it. You all tell us. Yeah, no, I could. It's up to them. If you want to get high, see, if you want to get high, you got to go on to the island. I just saw it. My library color. Oh,
My body, my choice.
That's what I'm like.
Ivan always late. Yeah, you and teaching.
Where are people? You're going like it?
Supposed to be like that. Keep telling me stop. See if you come down anymore.
Hold up the flower, I found it nice.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I got it?
You can go left. Go left because loop on your right. Okay, well I will go forward.
Thank you.
For you this morning, Father Lord, asking for your guidance and protection and leading us in this battle against mandatory vaccination. Father Jehovah, through your Son Jesus Christ, I ask you to strengthen each and every one of us this morning and let us go in this fight from strength to strength. I ask this in your precious name I pray.
staying here or that's temporary?
Until we get a better
Are they still gone?
day, we will keep on striving.
No, I'm not here.
Until we
Yeah, I
get
can-
a better day, we will
What's
keep
that?
on striving. Until we get a better day, our union
But I want you to see where you go fit. Yeah, that's them.
union makes us strong.
Yeah, according to all this. Phone in the hand, you just record with a phone. Yeah. You don't carry big camera and thing again.
A pleasant Friday morning to you members of the media, and thank you for coming to cover what is another installment in our campaign against mandatory jabs, mandatory vaccination, call it what you want. But the high-handedness of those who are in the government and its Prime Minister pushing this, forcing this vaccination, this jab on the population. That is what we are against. I want to say that up front. I also want to say that this group here, we are not anti-vax. This is not an anti-vaccination campaign or an anti-vaccination group. But with me here this morning, allow me to introduce the comrades who are accompanying me here in San Fernando this morning. We have on my left the President General of the Contractor and General Workers Union, Sister Ermin DP, and her officers. We also have accompanying me here this morning the Vice President of Southwestern Branch of the Trinidad and Tobago Postal Workers Union, Sister Liba Douglas, Secretary to the Southwestern Branch, the same branch of Trinidad and Tobago Postal Workers Union, another Sister Nicola Vincent. And we also have, representing the Steelworkers Union of Trinidad and Tobago, the trustee, Comrade Francis Selvan. And to my right here, we have the leader of the My Body, My Choice movement, accompanying us here in San Fernando this morning. Now let me say that on Monday this week, we would have started off our underground, that's the union, our underground part of the campaign, by being in Superior and Pinal. And then on Wednesday, we were in Chagonas. This morning, we are in San Fernando. On Monday, we will be in Mayaro. And throughout the week, next week, we will be in Tunapuna, Arima, Sandra Grande, of course, ending in Port of Spain. All in effort to raise the awareness and consciousness and to inform the citizens that they have a right to accept or a right to reject. And we see where now, right now, where they are going after the children from 5 to 11 years of age. So we need to, if we did not sit up and take notice before, we need to take notice, and not just take notice, but take action to prevent the high-handed hand of this government. Mandatory vaccination, mandatory jabs. What is the meaning of that? What that means is that you have a Prime Minister in December of last year tells the country that if there are persons who are unwilling, for whatever reason, to take the vaccine or to take that jab, they will lose their job. Because it does not matter how long or how faithful or how committed, how loyal you are to your job, what contribution you would have made to the economy through that job, how you would have been leaving your family all hours of the night, burning the midnight oil and so on, stuck in traffic, going to and from your work. That does not matter. But he, the emperor, said, if you didn't take the job, they will take you off your job. You wouldn't be paid, and no sooner than later, you would not have a job. And the effects of that is to pauperize many, many more families, which are families are already feeling the strain of high inflation and high cost of living and so on. But to put on the breadline in the most callous manner, in the most reckless and uncaring manner, workers of this country. So it matters not to them that we have already had many, many thousands, since they came into office, they would have sent home over 1 100,000 workers in this country from across all of the sectors, and that is okay for them. It seems to them, it seems to us that for them it's okay to have just the 22 of them in the parliament working or getting paid, or just those in the cabinet and in the government getting paid, and their ministers and so on, and to hell with everybody. That is the position that they would take. And it does not matter if children cannot, through their parents being retrenched or being sent home. It does not matter to them that there is no food to put on the table, there is no money to buy books, there is no money to buy all of the equipment and so on that you would need now for virtual classes and so on. That doesn't matter to them. What matters to them is their agenda, which agenda serves one set of people. So while the 99% of us are struggling and they are putting us on the breadline, more and more of us on the breadline day by day, it matters, that doesn't matter to them. What matters to them is that they serve their masters, the 1%. So it's about us and them. It is about us, 99% of us, against the 1%. And take note that in this pandemic, in this pain and suffering of the people, the 1%, and they continue to declare huge profit. Take note of that. Huge profit through the banks and through all of the conglomerates and so on. The Ansa Makal and you name them. And as I say that, you would recall just recently a statement coming from Sabga talking about privatizing. That is the real Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Sabga. He is the Prime Minister. That is the one that you think your Prime Minister is Prime Minister. No, he's not Prime Minister. Those are the people that they are taking instruction from. And to the extent that they take that instruction, people continue to suffer. I don't want to be too long this morning, but just to highlight a couple of things. A couple of things before we go on our task to give out flyers and to chat with people and mobilize here. And that is to say that you would remember earlier this week, the Communication Workers Union, they would have been informed by the management of TSTT that they are about another restructuring. Another restructuring which they have already stated clearly they are going to send home workers. So every time they talk about restructuring, what that really means is we send home workers, more workers on the breadline. But I want to point you to another restructuring, a restructuring, so-called restructuring that took place in 2018. That is with the Petroleum Company of Trinidad and Tobago. Today, we are vindicated for yet another occasion. We had said from the onset that that is a failure, that they are putting many thousands of workers who were employed on the breadline, but even by extension, our entire southwestern community and so on, and by extension the country, under pressure by shutting down that company. And so we were against it. And so we were telling the people that you are the ones that will suffer, not just the workers, but that the people will suffer. Today we are vindicated for yet another occasion. Because the international rating agency, S&P, Standard & Poor's, would have downgraded TPHL, Trinidad Petroleum Holding Company Limited, because they have not submitted any financials for the year 2019. And why? They simply cannot do it. So while you would have had a lying minister, a fellow by the name of Franklin Khan, smiling and lying minister, telling you that they would have been paying taxes and so on, and vouching for TPHL paying taxes, that was not so. They cannot show that because that was not happening. So himself to himself, and therefore from 2019 to now, we are in 2022, and they have not produced any financials for that year. You know what they're doing now? They are cooking the books. So 3+ years later down the road, with thousands of workers gone home, many thousands, over 45,000 persons affected from the shutting down of that company, and the Standard & Poor's are saying, the international rating agency, they are saying what we are saying, that is a failure, that the so-called restructuring is a failure. But what is a success in that? The success in that is a fella, somebody, get a nice sweetheart settlement in a court case. Remember the fake oil thing? That is the success for some people and the contract that they would have agreed to going forward. So keep your eyes on that. We are going to be talking about that more and more because they cannot be allowed to get away. They lie to the people. They cannot be trusted. And of course, let me just end by saying that we have a minister of silence, the most silent minister of labor we have ever had. And it seems that to be a minister of labor, you have to be outdoing the one that you replace. So the one that he replaced was very silent, so he is even more silent. But he broke his silence when? Yesterday. And here's the statement he made. It is an admission of his own failure that he is saying to the country that the Prime Minister gave the responsibility, his responsibility, to the Attorney General to talk with the stakeholders. Which stakeholders in the main includes the trade union movement. And if there's anybody who's supposed to be talking with the trade union movement, it's the Minister of Labour. That ain't happening. So he admit that the PM know he wasn't doing his work, and he gave the Attorney General, who also not doing his work, to talk with stakeholders and so on. And by the way, it's not no talk or consultation. It's an attempt to ram down the throats of all of the stakeholders at government position. Let me be clear again. We are for meaningful, deep and meaningful consultation, but first you need to move that strip of this mandatory vaccination off the table. And also, I want to say that if they go to the parliament, and we suspect they're going to the parliament, and bring a law, which law denies you the right to work, remove you from your job because you refuse to take the jab or you refuse to take the vaccine. If they do that, one, it's not only those who are refusing to take it, but it would also affect those who have already taken it. Because through their regulation, they only have to declare to be fully vaccinated. It's not just one or two. It's two and another job, and then another job, and another job. And so everybody will be impacted by that law. But any law that removes me or removes any individual from his job, a job that he or she had been performing, and a law that removes you because you refuse to take a vaccine is an unjust law. And that law must be resisted by all of us. And that is what we are about. We are prepared to go the distance and to resist any unjust law that they would come to force citizens to take vaccine or to take jabs and so on. And so let me again say that we are not anti-vax. We support you if you want to take it. If you want to take 1, 2, 3, 4, jab, 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 it's carnival time, jab, jab, that's up to you. But we also support those who have a right to refuse to take it. It's about your body, your choice. My body, my choice. And that is what we are about, to alert people. And as we go along, a number of persons are identifying problems and issues with the vaccine, and that is real, but they are shutting out those voices. And we are saying that everybody is entitled to a voice and entitled to be heard, and their issues are entitled to be dealt with. And let me just pass on.
There are some people at LNG. We are hearing now that workers who are not vaccinated are asked to stay home and stay home permanently. No money, no nothing. What is the union? I mean, you are a union officer. What the union is doing about people in those people? You see LNG is happening at LNG.
Well, the workers in LNG, they are not unionized in the main. But ours is a position we are defending both unionized and ununionized. Those workers just have to come to us in the trade union movement and we will take up those matters. It is unlawful for them to do that. So whether it's LNG or government, private, whosoever, there is no law right now that requires you to give your vaccination status or for you to be vaccinated too. There's no law, no such law. And by the way, vaccinated people are giving vaccinated people the virus. Vaccinated people are giving unvaccinated people the virus. So the vaccine is not a cure or a preventive measure for you to prevent you from getting the virus. No, that is not the case. And therefore we are saying that it is wrong, it is bullying on the part of Atlantic LNG, and we are certainly going to treat with that. The last time I checked, we are still a Democratic Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore, all of the citizens are entitled to their right to choose, to accept, or to reject.
So what is the immediate to that.
I did say that those workers have to come to us and we will certainly be dealing with this. Those workers don't have an RMU, which is to say a recognized majority union at Atlantic LNG. They are not unionized. But to the extent that they are affected, the trade union, this is why we are on the ground, the trade union movement will put in place a defense within the ambit of the law as it exists.
And what are they saying?
Well, when they come to us, we will discuss what are the steps that we will take to ensure that those workers are defended. If there's ever a time that every worker should join a trade union, it's now. It's now. If there was ever a time, it's like driving on the most dangerous road with the most dangerous drivers and you don't have insurance. You cannot, when you get into an accident, then run into the insurance and ask to be insured for that accident. If there's ever time to be vaccinated, to be represented by a union, is now. If there's ever a time to stand up against mandatory vaccination, that time is now. If we get over this, heaven help all of us here. Alright?
Mr. We said that, you know, the unions are still open to dialogue, but you've had that dialogue already. There was like I want to go on the grounds of educating people rather than mandatory vaccination. Obviously, there's one against that, so what is the need for more dialogue?
Well, correct. But what we had was not dialogue. It was the Attorney General saying that is the position. The Emperor decreed that come the 17th of January, they're going that way. And in the most bullying kind of badge-on style, say the government will full on the workers if they are not vaccinated and so on. And what does that mean? They're going to send workers home. And from since then to now, we have been on the ground talking with people and alerting them to their rights and so on, and running a campaign of resistance against that most unjust, unfair, reckless position coming from the government. And so when they talk about consultation, it is not that. It's they take a position and they're going down the road no matter what. And that is what we are against, the high-handedness of this government. So, but I was about to introduce, have a word here this morning, member of the My Body, My Choice movement. They would have been doing quite a lot of work, even before we came out and so on. Down in their jerseys and so on in San Fernando. I think they started here in San Fernando and they almost completing crisscrossing the entire southern part of the country. And so I want to commend that movement. All of those persons, you know, they are not in the union, you know, but they know that people's rights are going to be trampled upon. They are citizens and they found it necessary to also be outside. And as I said that, let me also commend and thank all of the groups, because there are many groups all over the place today in Trinidad and Tobago who are against the high-handedness of the government. All of the various groups that were doing work, we commend them. The pushback movement, you name it, whoever, whatever they call, we support the position that they support, which is one and the same. No to mandatory vaccination. So let me introduce to the press. Clifton here.
I am Trisha Hamilton, leader of the My Body, My Choice movement. Well, today again, we stand with anybody that is willing to stand with us, and thanking the union for making this stand as well. Clearly, our country is in a terrible situation. All right, so now, other than fighting for no to mandatory vaccination as an adult, you know, now we have to fight for our children. So I could imagine how the parents feel at this moment. I and all as a parent, not feeling so good. All right. Now we have a situation that the artists have to be vaccinated in order to get a show or to perform in a pig pen. To the unvaccinated artists that's been representing Trinidad and Tobago and flying the flag of Trinidad and Tobago high all over the globe, my heart goes out to you. But I want to tell you all, stand all your grounds. We are not animals. We are not to be spit, hit down, kicked down in no way. All right, we still love our country, but I believe that if we are indeed in a pandemic and people are dying, we should not be out there jamming and whining. In no way, no how. Stand your grounds. I know a lot of you haven't been working for almost 3 years, myself included. Don't worry, God will continue to provide. Instead of going or supporting this madness, put your knees down and pray. Come out and walk and support us. Let us stand together as a people, as a nation. It doesn't matter if you're part of the union, if you're part of whatever. Come out and let your voices be heard. Say no to the madness that is taking place. We are not animals, and you should not be treated as one and never accept that. Thank you.
Yes. Excellent. Now in San Fernando this morning, we are going to be walking down High Street, Moforapo Street, and so on up to the promenade as we continue our campaign of awareness and calling on people to stand up for their right. That's all we want to do, to get people to stand up for their right and recognize that this government is about only forcing you to down a road which is not in your interest if you don't. Thank you very much.
My choice!
Okay.
Okay.
Party done. Your body, your choice. What your message about?
My body, my choice. No to mandatory vaccination.
So you have folks at home who have not taken the vax?
Of course.
Yeah? And they're jamming still?
We jamming like vaccinated still same way.
Alright. Okay, so
And nothing never wrong with we. We good.
So where y'all going from here?
I think we're going down. I think we're going back up. Around. I don't know. We walking.
Okay. Ozzy!
Yes, man.
Your body!
My choice.
Why is your choice?
I am fully vaccinated. I took my 3 jabs. This is my body and it was my choice to be vaccinated. Likewise, it must be the other person's choice if they choose not to be vaccinated.
Okay. So where y'all going from here?
I can't say, we just follow it.
Okay. My body!
My choice.
Vax or no vax? It's my body.
My choice.
Will you pass my stage? Will you get too big for my place? Alright, say hello for me.
Yes, I will do that.
Yeah. Which one? Introduce yourself and tell me what's your choice.
Hi, my choice is no to mandatory vaccinations as proposed by the government of Trinidad and Tobago.
You don't suffer from any comorbidities?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
People say I never hurt
Sorry.
Nice story.
Yeah.
The country on a different level.
Well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What is a different level?
The different level is they hiding the truth from people.
So when it was better?
When the COVID come in, they hiding the truth. Yeah. And the truth based on foundation. And the poor people who do the foundation realize they get misled now by it. Yeah.
Alright, okay.
How long I see you, man?
Talk to me. Introduce yourself.
Yo, I want to tell all the youths at Trinidad and Tobago, as a young employee of VB Sessions Agri Shop, we need to take our vaccine, we need to be out here, we need to keep up with times. Vaccine is very important, it helps you and helps your immune system keep high, so you could always be out here. If you don't do that, the country won't come back as how it was. So I advise all my youths them take all their vaccine.
How old are you?
I'm 23 years at age.
Okay. With him.
Hollis, they're in front. Go on. Yeah.
I support that no to mandatory.
See, we can done one. How are we doing that?
She didn't come and spread the word. She didn't tell you with a reach.
He wasn't there. He was on vacation.
That's why you had a right to tell him, I know.
He was on vacation. He was on vacation.
Okay.
If you only drop a pump,
Where you other half?
Alright.
You're twin.
I will make sure she
I ain't see she for years.
Yeah.
you might see the
But
difference.
you can't call them a black sister that is progressive. I hear that with a black man. I think so.
Tell them.
She don't want to do that.
I was keeping my man so I'm safe too.
Nah, you don't worry about that part. As long as you safe, we safe. As long as you safe, we safe.
He going home, boy. He going home. What's he home, boy? She getting scratched, you know. What's he?
Everybody on the camp.
I have, boy.
She does something right?
It's your choice.
Yeah, next time.
Transport. My body.
Yes, your body.
My choice.
My choice.
All the way.
Every single step.
My body.
My choice.
Talk to me.
That's right. This is what we are about today. We say no to mandatory vaccination. Your body is your choice. Right? On the 12th of February, we at Palmas Park. Come down and stand up for your rights.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay.